The rain was already drowning the city when the subway doors sealed shut. No one knew a life was about to begin, and another man's life was about to change forever. But when a single father fell to his knees beside a screaming stranger, he had no idea he was delivering the child of the woman who secretly owned the company that paid him minimum wage. Rain hammered the subway car as if the storm itself wanted to break inside. The lights flickered once, twice casting trembling silhouettes across a crowd too exhausted to care. It was the kind of night when hope felt like something people lost on the tracks years ago. Ethan sat quietly near the back, clutching a small brown lunchbox and the folded drawing his daughter, Lily, had slipped into his pocket that morning. "You're my hero, Daddy." She had written it in crooked crayon letters, the way 6-year-olds pour their entire hearts into a single sentence. Ethina, janitor, a father. A man used to swallowing his struggles whole had no idea those words were about to be tested in the most unimaginable way. The train screeched deeper into the tunnel. Across from him, a woman in a soaked white dress gasped sharply and doubled forward, gripping her stomach with both hands. Her face blanched as another contraction tore through her. Passengers lifted their heads, stared for a heartbeat, then looked away. Fear, inconvenience, uncertainty. No, one wanted to step into someone else's emergency. Then she screamed. The sound cut through the subway car like lightning raw. Primal, unmistakable. The train rattled on mercilessly, but inside, time froze. Ethan didn't hesitate. He dropped the lunchbox, slid to the slick floor, and gently caught the woman before she collapsed. "Hey, look at me," he whispered, brushing rain-soaked hair from her face with a trembling hand. "You're not alone. I'm right here." She tried to speak, but only gasped, breathing in ragged panic. "It's okay. Just breathe with me. I've got you." Passengers filmed. None moved. There was no conductor in this car. No emergency help. Just a single dad who had never delivered a baby, but had spent years soothing the cries of a child, who relied on him for everything. He placed his jacket beneath her, shielding her from the cold floor. His touch remained steady even though his heart hammered against his ribs. "What's your name?" Ethan asked softly. She winced, gripping his hand with surprising strength. "CL Clara." "Clara, you're doing great. I promise you, your baby is going to be okay." Contraction after contraction ripped through her as Ethan coached her through the breathing. He whispered the same calming rhythm he used when Lily woke from nightmares. The train clattered violently. Then everything shifted. Ethan, it's coming." Clara screamed. He swallowed hard. "Okay? Okay, Clara, push. You're safe. Push." A single moment stretched across eternity, and then a newborn cry. Thin but fierce sliced through the silence. Ethan stared at the tiny baby girl trembling in his palms, slick with birth and glowing with life. His throat closed. His eyes burned. "She's beautiful," he whispered. Clara broke into sobs, pain, relief, awe mixing into one overwhelming tide. Passengers finally snapped into motion, offering jackets, calling 911. Leaning in to help now that the danger had passed, Ethan wrapped the newborn in his own jacket, hands trembling as he passed her to her mother. When paramedics arrived at the next station, Clara reached for him with glassy eyes. You saved us." But exhaustion dragged her head back, and she was wheeled away before he could even ask her name again. For 3 days, Ethan returned to normal life. If normal could include replaying a stranger's birth in your mind on a loop. He mopped floors in the towering Aldridge corporate building, packed Lily's lunches, braided her hair each morning, but something gnawed at him. A feeling that the story wasn't over. He was scrubbing a marble floor when he heard sharp heels approaching. He stood automatically to let the passerby walk through. But she stopped directly in front of him. He froze. It was her. No subway grime. No rain. No pain. Clara stood radiant and composed in a tailored black suit. Her hair swept into a perfect twist, security guards on either side. In her hand a baby carrier, she stepped closer. "You're the man who delivered my daughter," Ethan blinked. You work here?" A soft, almost sad smile touched her lips. "No, I own this company. My husband is the CEO. His breath caught. The office he cleaned every Friday. The man whose name was printed on his paycheck. The elite building he entered through the service doors each morning. I'm Clara Aldridge, she said. Quietly the world tilted, Clara explained. Everything how she'd escaped the suffocating expectations of her role. How her labor had begun too early. How the only person who noticed her suffering was a stranger with calloused hands and a gentle voice. What happened next stunned Ethan more than the birth itself. The CEO invited him into his office, not to reprimand him, not to warn him about boundaries, to thank him as glassy with emotion as he shook Ethan's hand with both of his. You saved my daughter's life, he said. And you reminded me of something I forget to. Often strength has nothing to do with status. They offered him money. Ethan refused, so they did something no one in his life had ever done. They lifted him up. A full scholarship for Lily, a new role in facilities management with dignity, better pay, flexible hours, a mentorship from Clara herself, and something deeper. Respect, but Ethan didn't feel like a hero. Heroes weren't born from moments. They were born from choices. From stepping forward when everyone else steps back. Clara's daughter was named Hope, and every time Ethan heard her name, he remembered that sometimes the greatest miracles begin in the darkest tunnels, lit only by the courage of ordinary people.